Hello everyone, Jacketing here. Welcome to NASCAR Chicago. We're here this weekend to talk about three, yes, not just one anymore, three very special electric race cars on track. We're here to talk about the NASCAR EV prototype. The guys who race them, the guys who build them, the guys who love and hate them. Let's go. Since we last checked out the ABB NASCAR EV prototype, Chevy and Ford has also introduced their version of the EV prototypes. And at Chicago, the trio shared the track for the first time in a demo run. That's all cool and all, but what's new on the cars?
The biggest change was going to be mechanical, going from a drift course, setting up more steering angle for Turk to get around the corners and things like that. With Chicago, it being a street course, we swapped over the chassis side to a street course setup. But the thing you probably want to know about is we also introduced what we are calling the push-to-pass feature. So right now, currently our power levels were about 600 kilowatts, so roughly 800 horsepower for the race, right? With push to pass now, we give the drivers 5 seconds of what you heard out there, Mario Kart burst, and that gives them 1,000 kilowatts, so 1,360 horsepower.
So they get a full 1,360 at that.
Every time we were passing on the straightaways, you know, the leader's almost a sitting duck because if you still have some push to pass power, you can use it and you feel that instant power. So the push to pass function is my favorite, and that's the newest one starting this weekend.
1,360 in push to pass. That's outrageous. But power is nothing without control. So how do they feel around the corners? Let's ask the drivers.
The acceleration and deceleration was a big adjustment too, just because there's no wheel spin, the power goes straight to the wheels and it pushes you back in the seat, and the regenerative braking that it has, it's kind of like engine braking, but just a big adjustment for sure. But overall, still a race car.
Do you feel a little bit of weight on the track, like more on the corner entry, on the exit? Do you feel the mass a little bit more under braking?
Yeah, you know, I thought I would because it's definitely heavier than the other stuff, but with the regen braking, it helps a lot. So it just kind of feels normal, to tell you the truth. Without the regen, when you're at a high percentage, it definitely feels super heavy, like on those out laps. But the second you get below that 80% mark, it's a blast.
Does it feel like a little bit like regen in the rear axle is helping you rotate into corners?
Yeah, and you know, it doesn't feel anything crazy or, you know, out of the blue, but it just feels normal.
I think the real judge is just how you're going to manage your battery life in a competitive scenario, right? We ran for 8 or 10 laps and went from 98% to probably 45, so just
that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. So good track time.
Do you feel the weight a little bit? I think it was over 4,000 pounds. Do you feel it like
you don't? And I expected to really feel it, but again, with the brake regeneration, it stopped so well. The forward drive, the acceleration out of the corners is so strong. And I think after driving a stock car for so long, you're used to those heavy, big vehicles. I think if an open wheel IndyCar, sports car guy got into one of these cars, you would tell the difference.
Get into one? No,
if you did. But I've been driving a NASCAR stock car for 15 years, so they're all big and a little heavy, but that's what makes them fun to drive.
For sure. I was pretty amazed at how composed the cars looked around the corner. But say a certain driver wanted to give it the old ding fling. What tools would he have at his disposal, and how different would it be from an internal combustion race car?
For both Brent and Raja, both being young drivers, they like to equate it to things, right? So they equate it to a heavier engine braking. So the same thing that they get in an IC car, just a little bit different, a little bit more aggressive when that regen kicks in. For Brent, on Brent's side, he was actually surprised at how gradual it was, and it wasn't instantaneous. He felt as though initially like, am I going to lock up going into the corner? What is that going to look like? When we went testing in Autobahn, we were able to work with him a little bit, get it fine-tuned where it was to his liking.
So you have front and rear brake, and then you can change that around to adjust your balance, which is something, you know, I like to mess with. And then you know, you have your regen braking switch that you can play around with depending on, you know, the driver's preference, and then you have a torque map that you can mess around with for how much torque you have. I'm pretty somewhere in there you can mess with your traction control, so there's a lot you can do if you're not happy in the car. But you know, I was pretty comfortable off the start and just had to play around with some front and rear brake, and I was good to go.
All right. Enough subjective. Let's get some real benchmark. How quick is this car at a track we know pretty well? Let's say Autobahn South. Do we have a little bit of Autobahn footage we can share? Because that's our home track.
Really? Okay, yeah. We
actually
actually do have some Autobahn footage that we can get
sweet.
to.
Okay.
Yeah, they did some cool drone shots of the cars on track. So
a little bit on the down low. We know you guys went to Autobahn South, which is our home course. You guys ran like around a 127. Low boost, low power map.
Yeah, low power.
If we give you all the tools you need, give you all the test time you need, give you all the fresh tires you need, unrestrict the whole thing, one lap, what do you think you can do?
Probably a 22, with 1,400 horsepower and a lot of brakes and a lot of tire. I think,
and a lot of spare parts, obviously.
Yeah. This thing will go super fast.
That's awesome. I've talked to Brett slightly. You guys went to Autobahn to test the car slightly.
Yeah.
That's our home track. So
really?
we go all the time.
Really? Okay.
He said he did it at 127, but he thinks fresh tires, unrestricted, he could probably do a 22. What do you think? They're veterans. You gotta be able to beat the young kids.
Yeah, I think the low 120s would be good. I saw AJ Allmendinger had the track record in a Champ car.
Yeah.
Now that's when the racetrack, the surface was new.
Oh, really?
And the asphalt probably had a lot of grip.
Yeah, and the wind was probably just perfect.
Well, and those Champ cars back in the day were super fast. They were really lightweight. But yeah, I think we could run a minute 20, maybe a high teen, if we really tuned on it, got the aero balance. That's a smooth track. And so we were a little high in preparation for the Chicago track because of more bumps. And so, maybe we'll get to go back. That's a very nice,
please. If you guys
nice
go,
facility.
let me know.
Right,
we'll be there.
High teens at Autobahn? That sounds silly fast. As a driver, this car fascinates me. Its possibilities are almost endless. Its technologies are constantly evolving, and I would love to take for a spin around Chicago's street course. With the prototypes now in testing, what's on the horizon? And what does the fans in Chicago think about this radical experiment for NASCAR?
Well, first, just let me be clear. NASCAR is committed to combustion racing.
Yeah.
All right? But we're exploring. What would electric racing look like in the U.S.? What is the electric infrastructure that you need to make that happen? That's where ABB comes in.
right now, we're happy with what we're doing, showing the consumer, showing the fan base just what is possible, right? What the OEMs sell. We want to have a race product that looks like what a consumer can buy at any dealership, and I think that's what we're doing. And working with ABB and electrification and all of these things, it's just a really cool way for us as engineers, get to engineer really cool things while making an impact on the electrification process in the U.S. and the OEMs being able to tell their story of their electric vehicles with a race product.
I would love to see a small support series with 15 to 20 cars that we could go do some 30-minute, 45-minute exhibition races, let some of the current stars of NASCAR get in, maybe let some different racers from other racing series come and hop in. I think that would be fun. I think these cars are great for short tracks, short track ovals, and road courses. So they're a lot of fun. I think that 30 to 45-minute run time is a good goal. So hopefully over the next several years, we continue to evolve that.
If we imagine a field of like they said, 30 of these somethings, you get to be in one of those. You start on pole. How's that going to look? How do you feel like that race is going to go?
Well, how it goes, I hope I would just drive away
Of course.
and not have to deal with it. But yeah, I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool, and listen to the OEMs and everything. I don't think that's their goal, but if that day were to come, I think it'd be pretty cool.
Hey Joey, can I get a quick question? Yeah. What do you think about the NASCAR EV prototype?
I haven't actually looked at it a whole bunch, but I've seen them go on the track. Pretty cool.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good luck in the race. All right, Luis, what do you think about the NASCAR EV electric prototype?
It's super cool. I love the song.
I mean, I think it's cool. It looks fast. Honestly, we should have had cooler aero. I'd love to see some canard, but for a minivan, it can haul.
Yeah, it's not a great idea because the races, it's all about sound. So yeah.
It's kind of lame.
I think it would be cool as its own separate series.
I'm not super excited about it, but I mean, if they can figure out a way to do an actual race somewhere in a lower series, that'd be great.
Doesn't have the sound, right?
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. We think it's really cool. It sounds really cool.
Yeah, they should totally.
They should totally do an EV series. I hate it. I'm not a big EV fan. I tried. I can't.
Pretty cool.
It's really interesting to see what they can do with it.
It sounds weird.
How fast they go?
200.
Okay, I'm cool with it. I think it's really cool.
I watched it on track. I thought it was pretty cool. They sounded awesome. Something straight out of a Star Wars movie or something.
Yeah. It fit the shirt today.
It does, thank you.
Oh, no comment. I quit the tip.
They ran out of gas.
I think the EV prototypes are sick. I don't think it's at the sacrifice of anything, but
I think what's next is dope.
I think they're really cool. They're fast. They're lots of torque. They scream through the corners. You can hear every sound and squeal and rattle and everything. Is obviously this is still a combustion engine sport. I don't ever see that going away. But I would like to see an exhibition series similar to Formula E.
What do you think about the NASCAR EV prototype?
I mean, it's fast. They had, ran smoothly for their first proper demo race.
I need 5 seconds of this. Just 5 seconds.
It's pretty damn good.
All right, good.